Have you ever wondered why the eldest child often carries more weight? Have you noticed how responsibility seems to fall on their shoulders? And could those burdens actually hide a deeper blessing? Welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. Here we explore Buddhist wisdom and the timeless lessons of life. Each video is a gentle, thoughtful conversation with you. Today, many eldest children feel constant pressure. They feel they must grow up early and carry more than others. But the question is, why does this happen? Is it simply chance, or is it part of karma from the past? This is not only the story of the eldest child. In truth, each of us becomes the responsible one at some point. And in those moments, life invites us to learn a greater lesson of love and growth. In this video, we will look deeper. We will discover the true meaning of responsibility. We will see how burdens can become wings, and we will learn how love can turn struggle into blessing. Son.Mindfulness is here to walk this path with you. We bring reflections on spirituality and daily life. We believe every sharing can be a seed of peace. Please support, subscribe, and share this channel so together we can nurture calm and compassion. I wish you health, peace, happiness, and good fortune. Now, let us begin this journey. You will see that the story of the eldest child is not only about carrying weight, it is also about opening a door toward wisdom and freedom. Are you ready to explore this? If so, please stay with me until the end of the video. Part 1. The first position is never an accident. My dear friends, have you ever asked yourself why you were born the eldest? Why you were asked to carry responsibility earlier than others? Many think being firstborn is just a family arrangement, a matter of chance. But through the lens of karma, nothing is accidental. Being the eldest is not random. It is the continuation of seeds planted long before this life. In past lives, you may have held positions of guidance and authority. Sometimes you fulfilled them well, sometimes you did not. Now, in this life, you are given another chance to learn, to carry, to grow. Remember, karma is never punishment. Karma is a teacher, sometimes strict, sometimes gentle, but always patient. When you accept the role of eldest, you are not only helping your family. You are stepping into a classroom for your own soul. I recall an older Buddhist in California sharing with me. He said, "All my life I felt like I had to be a second parent. I cared for my siblings and even supported my parents. At first I was angry, but later I saw it taught me patience and deeper love." Have you ever felt the same? That what once seemed unfair later became your greatest lesson? Modern psychology even agrees. Studies show eldest children often develop leadership and empathy earlier than others. Why? Because responsibility shapes them from the very beginning. What Buddhism calls karma, science calls the impact of life experience. So instead of seeing responsibility as chains, see it as seeds. Seeds that, when nurtured with understanding and compassion, blossom into wisdom. To be the eldest is to hold a sacred role. Not to suffer endlessly, but to grow stronger. Not to feel trapped, but to find freedom and love. And in that journey, you discover that responsibility itself can be a path to awakening. Part 2. Responsibility, burden, or hidden crown. My dear friends, if you are the eldest, you have likely heard these words. You must set an example. You are older now, you must share. You cannot fail, your younger siblings look up to you. The truth is, the eldest often becomes the testing ground for parents. When parents are still learning how to raise children, the firstborn takes both the love and the mistakes. The eldest must mature early, often long before they are ready. At first, this feels unfair, doesn't it? Why should one child carry more? Why should childhood feel shorter, heavier, more demanding? But through the eyes of karma, responsibility is not just a burden. It is a hidden crown placed upon your head. Yes, it may feel heavy. Yes, it may bend your back, but it also marks you with dignity, strength, and honor. Think about this. Without those early struggles, would you be as strong as you are today? Without caring for your siblings, would your heart have learned compassion so deeply? Responsibility is the pressure that shapes the diamond of your soul. I remember one Buddhist student telling me, "As a child, I resented my parents. They asked me to give up my dream of studying far away so I could help raise my younger brothers. But now I see it taught me discipline and courage. And those qualities have carried me through every challenge in life." Have you ever felt something similar? That what once seemed like sacrifice became the foundation of your strength? Even science confirms this. Research shows that firstborns often achieve higher in careers and leadership. Why? Because they have been trained in responsibility since childhood. What looks like burden is in fact preparation. So responsibility is not a chain to drag you down. It is a crown that life places upon your head. It is a hidden blessing, molding you into someone capable of guiding, serving, and inspiring. Remember this: the weight may tire you, but it also raises you higher. The same burden that bends your back can lift your spirit, and the crown you wear is not only for you, it shines light for everyone walking behind you. Part 3. 3 Silent Teachers: Service, Sacrifice, and Leadership. My dear friends, when we hear the word responsibility, many of us think of weight. We think of duties, expectations, and pressure. But in truth, responsibility brings with it 3 silent teachers: service, sacrifice, and leadership. The first teacher is service. The eldest is often asked to fetch things, to watch younger siblings, to help parents. It may feel endless, thankless, even invisible, but every act of service shapes the heart. It pulls us away from selfishness and teaches us that life is larger than me. Have you noticed how those who serve from childhood often grow into kind, compassionate adults? The second teacher is sacrifice. Being firstborn often means giving something up. It might be the bigger portion at dinner, a chance to play, or even a dream set aside for family. At first, sacrifice feels like loss, even injustice. But slowly, it softens the heart and deepens patience. I recall one Buddhist student who said, "I cried when I had to give up art classes so my sister could study. But over time, I learned to live simply, to cherish what I had. Now my sister supports me, and I see the circle complete." Sacrifice may sting, but it secretly plants seeds of compassion and humility. The third teacher is leadership. Not leadership by title, but leadership by example. Siblings look at the eldest, whether they admit it or not. Parents unconsciously expect more. Society often holds the eldest to a higher standard. When you stand strong in hardship, your siblings learn courage. When you treat others with kindness, they learn compassion. Even your failures teach them resilience when they see you rise again. Modern research supports this truth. Psychologists note that eldest children often develop stronger leadership and organizational skills. Why? Because life required them to guide and to model from an early age. What science calls social skills, Buddhism calls karmic lessons. So these 3 teachers, service, sacrifice, and leadership, are not written in books. They show up in daily life, in family dinners, in chores, in quiet expectations. Each one carves away at selfishness and shapes the soul into something precious. So if today you feel the weight of responsibility, remember this. It may be heavy, but your silent teachers are walking beside you. And one day, you will look back and see that every step, every act, every sacrifice was shaping you into light for others. Part 4. When burden becomes blessing. My dear friends, many eldest children carry a quiet question in their hearts. Why is it always me? Why must I be the one to carry more? That question is natural. It is the voice of a soul that feels weary. But if we look deeper through the eyes of karma, we see another truth. The burden is not only sorrow, it is also a hidden blessing, carefully placed in your hands. Karma never gives a soul more than it can endure. If life chose you, it is because your inner strength is already there. Think of a piece of coal deep in the earth. Only under great pressure does it become a diamond. In the same way, responsibility is the pressure that reveals your inner jewel. What looks like a heavy chain is, in time, revealed as wings. I once spoke with a Buddhist elder in Texas. He told me, as a boy, I resented my parents. They made me watch my siblings and give up simple joys. But now I see it made me disciplined, dependable, and strong. That strength has guided me through my whole life. Have you ever felt the same? That something unfair in youth later became your greatest teacher? Psychologists also confirm this. Studies show that eldest children often rise higher in career and leadership. Why? Because responsibility has been their training ground since childhood. The very tasks that felt like burdens became preparation for success. So the real question is not whether we carry burdens. The real question is how we see them. If we see only chains, they drag us down. If we see hidden blessings, they lift us higher. As an old saying goes, the mountain that blocks the way becomes the path. My friends, do not fear responsibility. Embrace it with gratitude. Each task is a chance to polish your spirit. Each sacrifice is a seed of wisdom. Each act of service is a step toward freedom. And when you carry responsibility with love, the weight no longer bends you. It raises your head, it strengthens your heart, it guides your soul. Burden becomes blessing, chains become wings, and your life becomes a testament to the beauty of growth through love. Part 5. The ripple effect, small yet sacred. We often think our actions stay within the walls of family, but the influence of the eldest child reaches much farther than we realize. It is like a lamp in the home. Few notice the lamp itself, but everyone lives in its light. Younger siblings look to the eldest for example. Parents lean on the eldest for support. Even when you do not intend to lead, eyes are watching. Every choice, every word, every way you face hardship, plants seeds in others. Do you remember as a child, how seeing an older sibling cry broke your heart? Or how their strength in difficulty gave you courage? That is the ripple effect of quiet leadership. It happens without lectures, without commands. It flows through daily life silently but powerfully. I recall meeting a Buddhist family in New York. The eldest son gave up sports to work and support his mother. At first, the younger siblings pitied him, but over time his sacrifice inspired them. They grew responsible, compassionate, and deeply bonded as a family. One sister said to me, "Without my brother, I would never have known unconditional love." Do you see how silent choices can shape generations? Even social science confirms this truth. Researchers note that siblings often learn more from each other than from parents. Why? Because they see the lessons lived, not just spoken. The eldest teaches simply by being, by enduring, by showing the way. And the ripple does not end with family. Those who carry responsibility at home often bring the same spirit to society. They become trustworthy colleagues, steady leaders, caring friends. The blessing spreads outward, like circles from a stone dropped in water. So ask yourself, could your quiet sacrifices already be shaping lives around you? Could your patience, your courage, your daily endurance be lifting others in ways unseen? The answer is yes, and more than you know. The role of eldest is not only private duty, it is a sacred ripple of light, small in appearance yet powerful enough to warm hearts far beyond your reach. Part 6. Karma does not spare, but love redeems. My dear friends, there is one truth we must face. Karma is fair, but it is never gentle. It returns to us exactly what we once gave, no more, no less. That is why the eldest often carries more weight. It is not unfairness, but the harvest of past seeds. Yet there is a power greater than karma itself. That power is love. If karma binds us, love can break the chain. If karma presses us down, love can lift us up. Love turns burden into blessing, and duty into joy. It transforms sacrifice into offering, and leadership into service. Imagine a young boy asked to watch his sister every day. If he sees it as a burden, each day is heavy. Resentment grows and childhood feels lost. But if he watches with love, everything changes. The same task becomes a chance to protect, to care, to grow. Modern science even shows this clearly. Acts of love release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It lowers stress, builds resilience, and brings peace to the heart. So what Buddhism calls compassion, science calls chemistry. Different words, same truth. I once met a Buddhist woman in Seattle. She told me, as the eldest, I once felt chained, but when I chose to love, everything became lighter. My siblings drew closer, my parents found peace, and I felt free again. Have you ever lived such a moment? When choosing love turned pain into meaning. That is why I say, karma is the teacher, but love is the redeemer. We cannot escape responsibility, but we can embrace it differently. If we hold it with bitterness, it weighs us down. If we hold it with love, it sets us free. Karma does not spare us, but love always saves us. And the choice to love lies in your hands, here and now. Part 7. In summary, the Dharma's invitation to the eldest child. My dear friends, after walking this journey together, let us pause. The story of the eldest child is more than family order. It is a sacred invitation from life itself. To be the eldest is not a punishment. It is a chance to grow in ways others may not. It is training for the soul, preparing you for wisdom and compassion. If you are the eldest, take heart. Every burden you carried, every sacrifice you made, every quiet moment of strength, none were wasted. They have been polishing your spirit like a jewel. I remember an elder in California once told me, as a child I was angry. My parents asked me to give too much, but now I see it gave me discipline, love, and resilience. It was not a curse, it was a gift. Have you felt that same realization in your own life? That what once felt heavy became the source of your strength? Buddhism teaches us, responsibility is not to trap us, but to free us. When carried with resentment, it creates new chains. When carried with love, it plants seeds of blessing. So what is the Dharma's invitation to the eldest child? See responsibility not as punishment, but as opportunity. See sacrifice not as loss, but as offering. See leadership not as burden, but as service born of love. And if you are not the eldest, this teaching is still for you, because life will place each of us in roles of responsibility. Sometimes with family, sometimes with friends, sometimes with strangers. In those moments, you too are the eldest, the one who leads with heart. Remember, karma may assign the test, but love writes the answer. If you choose love, burden becomes blessing, and your life becomes a quiet light for others to follow. Part 8. A universal lesson for us all. My dear friends, by now you see this story is not only about eldest children. It is about each of us. Because at some point in life we all become the one who carries more. When you care for aging parents, you are the eldest. When you guide a colleague or a friend, you are the eldest. When you protect someone weaker, you step into that sacred role. Life will always invite us to stand in front, to lead with love. The real question is not whether we face responsibility. The question is, how do we carry it? If we see it as a burden, it will weigh us down. If we embrace it with love, it becomes a blessing. Think back to your own journey. Was there a moment when responsibility made you stronger? Was there a time when sacrifice deepened your compassion? These are not accidents. They are the ways life shapes your soul. Modern psychology tells us the same. People who find meaning in responsibility live with greater resilience and hope. What science calls purpose, Buddhism calls karma ripened into wisdom. Different words, one truth. Love transforms everything. So the universal lesson is this: let every responsibility become a practice of love. Let every sacrifice be an offering of the heart. Let every act of leadership shine as service, not power. And when you do this, you are no longer just the eldest in family. You become the eldest in your own life. You lead your spirit toward freedom, step by step. Remember, karma may bind, but love liberates. Karma teaches, but love fulfills. And in choosing love, every weight becomes a path to peace. My friends, this is the invitation to us all. To live with compassion, to carry with love, to turn duty into joy. When we accept this, we discover that responsibility is not the end of freedom. It is the beginning of wisdom. Conclusion. My dear friends, we have walked a long path together. We spoke about karma, responsibility, and love. We saw that being the eldest is not only a burden, it is also a chance for the soul to grow strong. Do you remember the 3 silent teachers? Service opens the heart. Sacrifice softens the ego. Leadership shows the way with love. These are lessons for eldest children, but also for everyone, because each of us becomes the eldest at some point in life. Caring for family, guiding others, standing strong in hard times, these are all the same path. And in those moments, life whispers, grow, love, lead. So what is the core message? Karma may place weight on our shoulders, but love transforms that weight into wings. Have you ever felt how love makes duty lighter? Have you noticed how kindness turns sacrifice into joy? I want you to reflect. When in your life has responsibility shaped you into who you are today? What burden later became your blessing? Share your story in the comments below. Your words may inspire another soul who needs light today. I also want to say thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for opening your heart to these lessons. And congratulations, because by recognizing meaning and responsibility, you are already walking toward freedom. Now I invite you to practice. Tomorrow, choose one small act and do it with love. Care for someone in need. Offer patience where you once gave anger. Listen with your whole heart. You will see how love turns duty into peace. Do you agree that our world needs more of these acts of love? Will you try and bring this lesson into your daily life? I would love to hear your thoughts below. Thank you for being part of Son.Mindfulness. Please subscribe, support, and stay with this community. Together, we can keep learning, keep growing, and keep sharing seeds of peace. I wish you health, peace, happiness, and good fortune. May you always walk in light, with love as your guide. From my heart to yours, with deep gratitude. Thank you.